Welcome to the live. As you guys can see already on the other platform, we said how to get unstuck, neuroscience, um, and faith, right? For those who are just joining, let me know where you're joining in from. Good morning to you all. Let me know what part of the world you're joining in from. Good morning, everybody. It's always good to see you coming in. Patrice, welcome, everyone. For those who are joining on the other platform, we are live on two different platforms. We've been trying to do that for a while now, so that those who are not able to catch some of the gems that will be dropped, they can watch it on the other platform as well. And for you all on my TikTok page, I welcome you. You want to watch this on a replay, please type reset with Coach Chefi on the other platform. The red one with triangle, you already know what I mean, right? So welcome. As you can see, it says how to get unstuck. How to get unstuck. For those who are just, if this is your first time being on my live, my name is Chefi. I am identity and nervous system coach, where I help my followers, I help my clients to stop self-sabotage at the nervous system level. Now, most people, when we talk about nervous system, or when we talk about getting unstuck, when we talk about self-sabotage, a lot of people think it's because they are not motivated. And that has been the lie we've been told for many years. That has been the lie that we have been believed for many years. So if motivation is working for other people and it's not working for us, we start thinking it's because we have a problem, right? And guess what? This is coming from someone who is known as the motivational force. So right now, if you are waiting to be motivated before you can move forward, or before you can start the project that you want to start, or you were motivated for that project and then toward the end you are no longer motivated, it's not because something is wrong with you. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're broken. It might just be that your nervous system feel threatened. Okay, it might just be that your nervous system feel threatened, so the nervous system is trying to protect you. See, I always say this: God is sovereign, and every part of our body holds the wisdom of God. Okay, God is sovereign, and every part, our body part, holds the wisdom of God. None of it was created to work against us. All of it has a specific purpose. That is why the word will say, well, let every part in me praise the Lord. Let every part in me praise the Lord. Today, I am going to show you something, a model or a blueprint that will help you to break out of self-sabotage. If you have been inconsistent for many years, thank you for the follow, my dear friend. If you have been inconsistent for many years, if you have been repeating the pattern of procrastination, if you have been repeating the pattern of starting and stopping, and you're tired of the same results, you're tired of the same pattern because you're adding in age and you're like, when is this going to stop? You are at the right place. Because of what? Not only have I gotten the certification to coach people out of self-sabotage, but guess what? I lived it. I lived it, and I know the pain. I know the shame. I know the fear, the doubt that comes with it. Okay, so that's why when I come on live, whether it's one person, 10,000 people, I will still show up because I am coaching myself, who was stuck in 2009. And I didn't quit in 2009, so I don't want anyone to quit in this moment. Why do you Okay, I'm gonna read this out loud. I'm gonna read this out loud. The person thought they're gonna shame me, but let me read it out loud. The person said, why do you wear fake hair? You don't accept the way you look, natural, lame AF. I appreciate you typing that. Thank you so much. Thank you for expressing yourself, okay? Thank you for expressing yourself. If you think that means not accepting oneself, I believe you have few things to learn about beauty. That's the last time I'm responding for comment like that. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, so that being said, whether it's one person, it's two people, it's 3,000 people, I always show up because I know what it is like to be stuck in a mental jail. Okay, and I will not even wish that on anyone. Hello, hello. And I will not even wish that on anyone. I will not wish that on because I know the pain, the shame, the doubt, the fear. Guess what? This is what is happening. Our nervous system, let's take it basic. Let's take it from step by step, and then we will get there. For those who are watching on this platform, not on TikTok, the other one that gives you the ability to watch the replay, the title that I put there is what? How to get unstuck, faith and neuroscience, or neuroscience and faith, how to get unstuck. So this is what the gems I'm going to show you today. How to get unstuck, faith and neuroscience. Now, before we get to how to, let me show you what is happening. Once you know, hello everybody. Hey Jasmine. Once you know what is happening, at least 10 to 20% of your problem has been solved. And this is the reason why. Because you know, okay, it's not just happening to me. There's a scientific explanation to it. When it's happening, you're not going to call yourself lazy. You see that? So this is what is happening. When you set a goal, let's say most common goal that we all set is this. I'll go to the gym. Okay? I'll go to the gym. Okay, on YTV, it's not mirrored, but this is what I've written. Okay? This is the most common goal that we usually set. I'll go to the gym or I will drop some pound, right? Now, when you set the goal, whether you wrote it down or you thought about it, what you're doing is you call a witness. What is the witness? Your brain is your witness. So when you set a goal, writing it down, you have a vision board. You said, this time I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. So the brain has been called as a witness. I joined the gym 6 months ago, and I've been okay, very good. Yes, very good. Very good. Okay. Now, so once you set a goal, the brain has been called as a witness. The goal of the brain is this, is to help you scan your track record to see if in the past any goal that you set, if you've been consistent in doing it. So when you said, I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to lose some pound, or I will read 5 pages a day, whatever goal you've set, the brain has been called as witness. And when the brain receives that cue, this is what the brain will do. So you thought about it, it's a cue to the brain. And this is what the brain will do. The brain received that as a cue. And I was trying to draw the brain just to give you a visual. Okay. That's the brain. That's the brain. So your brain receives the cue. Now, what will the brain do? Thank you for the like, my dear friend. What will the brain do? The brain will start scanning your previous year. Okay. Good morning, big brother. Your brain will start the brain will start scanning your previous years. Let's say you make that resolution today, which is I will go to the gym, I will read 5 pages of my book, I'll read, I'll write in my journal, whatever it is. So as soon as you said that, this is what the brain will start doing. The brain got it as a cue. The brain will start scanning your previous year. The brain will start scanning your previous day. Your brain will start scanning your previous month, whatever day, months, whatever day, week, months, years it is before the present one. The brain will start scanning that. As the brain is scanning, what is the brain doing? The brain is trying to see if you've ever said something that you kept the promise. If you've ever told yourself you were going to do something and you kept the promise. If you've ever told something to someone and you kept the promise. Because the brain needs to duplicate the exact results or closer to the exact result to motivate you, okay, so that you can be consistent on the road. My dear brother, thank you for the likes. Let's keep tapping so that the algorithm can bring more people here. You see that? So when you said let's say for instance, my goal, I've changed many times coming on live. One of them was I was going to come on live at 4 o'clock. I came on live 2 times at 4. That was 100 days, 120 days, 130 days, how many days we are in this year, that's how long it has been. Because at the beginning of the year 2026, one of the challenges that I told myself was I will be consistent coming on live on TikTok for 100 days. And on top of that, I said I was going to come on live at 4 a.m. because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. And please follow. Some of the reasons why most people quit on themselves when they're setting goals is because most people are setting the goals to please and prove that they can do it. When you're setting your goals to prove or to let people know that you can do it, or even yourself, you have already failed before you started, because you have not set the goal for yourself. You set the goal to prove. And once that is being set in that way, it's still a threat for the nervous system. Okay? Because the reason why you have not been showing up consistently is because there is a lack of self-trust. When there is a lack of self-trust, whatever you tell yourself, the brain is no longer trusting you. So your goal right now is not to set a bigger goal, but you need to work or walk your way back into that place where you will start trusting yourself again. This is reminding me in one of my coaching sessions where my client, I said, can you commit at least 3 months of your lifetime for us to break out of this pattern of self-sabotage? She was so, she paused and she thought about it. She said, Coach, can I be honest with you? I cannot even promise that to myself. I'm so afraid to commit because in the past I've never showed up and I don't want to go through the pattern of shame again. I respected that. If I never experienced it, I would say, oh my God, this person doesn't want to do anything with their life. But I understood so well. Because if you repeated a pattern of constantly giving up on yourself, that's where the mental jail comes from. So right now, or in that moment, she doesn't believe that she can break out of it. Her track record has proven to her many times that no matter the amount of commitment that you've put in, you're going to quit in 3 days. You're going to quit in 1 week. You're going to quit in 10 days. You're going to quit in 1 month. So that's where most of you are right now. Even though you desire the transformation, most of you are afraid to commit. Can I tell you something? You don't have a commitment problem because you're committed to other things that are not giving you the result that you want. But what it is you lack a structure, you lack self-trust, and you lack structure. You do not have a commitment problem. You are committed to other things that are not giving you the result that you want in this specific time. You're desiring a transformation, but the commitment is going against you. The commitment is going against your favor, right? Rather than working for you. It's just a small shift. And this is the shift that I want to teach you today. And this has been the shift that I've worked with my clients, those who have been repeating the same pattern of self-sabotage in their business, in their, their own life, in their relationship. As they started committing to that, they started seeing the change. And when I mean commitment, it's not like 10 hours commitment. I remember what I used to do, and I think maybe that's what you're doing as well. That's why you're afraid to commit. And what is this? For those who are joining, welcome. And if this is your first time, my name is Chefi, Identity and Nervous System Reset Coach, where I help my clients, my followers to stop self-sabotage at the nervous system level. Now, this is what I used to do. Whenever, let's say I said I'm going to read for 1 hour, which for me in that time is impossible. And even till now, it's going to be impossible sitting 1 hour straight. Okay, that's the thing. The key to self-empowerment is self-awareness. Okay, I've come to know some of the things that I can do and the amount of time I can commit to it. But what I used to give to my nervous system is impossible things just because I want to break out of that loop of shame, right? So this is what I used to do. I'll tell myself I'm going to read maybe 20 pages, right? And as I am reading already into 3 pages, I will stop. And what will happen? When I stopped, so I said I'm gonna read 3 pages, right? That's why I have 3 lines, 3 pages. I'm gonna read for 3 pages. I will read for 15 pages or 1 hour, an hour and a half. I was that type of person that would set impossible goals because I did not understand goal setting. I did not understand what it said, if you have a big faith, right? All those things were holding on to me. I wanted to prove, just to prove that I have a big faith. But what the part that I misunderstood is my nervous system was not ready for that yet. I need to lead my nervous system into it. So sometimes we use faith, we use God, we use our misunderstanding, we use our ignorance to set goals, and then we get stuck. Yes, there is God. God is the one that created the brain. God is the one that created the nervous system. God is the one that gave you your body part. But what you're forgetting is within the brain, within the body part, there is a wisdom, a divine intelligence that is being released into it. You see that? So most of you, right? So most of you, when you're setting the goals, you are not taking into consideration your level yet. What do I mean by your level? That repetitive action that you've taken from the past has wired your nervous system in a specific way. Okay? Something that Dangote would do, something that Dangote will break through, at your level, you might not be. So most of you, you're watching videos about motivation that you want to apply the same technique to you who have been struggling with self-sabotaging, that whenever you don't follow through, you start being hard on yourself. Remember, I was giving you the example of me, right? I would be struggling with sitting up straight to read for 1 hour, but I was also the same person that would keep setting goals to read for 1 hour. That's person abuse, right? Not child abuse, but I was abusing myself. I was abusing my nervous system. I was abusing my brain, because I used to ask myself, how is it that they can do it and I cannot do it? It's not a challenge. Most of you, you're functioning from this place of challenge. No. So, and you're wondering, why do I keep seeing the same results? Because you have not understood who you are yet. You have designed your lifestyle, you have designed your life based on somebody else's results. You need to know who you are so that you can break out of that. Now, this is the pattern. And if this pattern is speaking to you, please put 1 in the chat. For those who are going to watch this on a replay as well, if the pattern that I've mentioned speaks to you, please put 1 in the chat. You're asking yourself, where can I watch the replay? Because a lot of things have been shared today that you want to write down. Maybe you're at work, maybe you're driving, so I need to take notes. Where you go is that platform that gives you the ability to watch the replay. Type in Reset with Coach Chefi and you'll see the replay on there. The title for this one says what? How to get unstuck, neuroscience and faith. How to get unstuck, neuroscience and faith. Now, most of you, if this is speaking to you, if you're repeating the same pattern, you're asking yourself, what is wrong with me? Or I am lazy. It's working for others. It's not working for me. All these things, please put 1 in the chat, because I'm going to help you to break out of there. Most of you, you are functioning from the wrong blueprint, right? Meanwhile, your blueprint is somewhere that you have not discovered yet. So let me go back to the example that I'm giving you. So right now, a lot of you, your goal have been set based on somebody's results. Yes, those are the models that you want to follow, right? Because we grow by what? We grow by models, okay? When a car is being created, they will create a first car, and the other cars, the pattern and everything is built from the first model. But the thing is this, you do not know your model yet. You're scanning the wrong model. That's why you're still stuck. And today, tell yourself, I am tired of repeating the same pattern and I'm ready to get unstuck. Now, let's go back to the example of the book reading. So you tell yourself you're going to read for 1 hour. And the first time you read for 1 hour, you know why? Because when you make the decision to do something, the first day, all the energy, all the joy that you need to start is there. It's called motivation. Okay, so you start for day 1. Even if you want to read for 3 hours, you're going to, because that which led you into showing up is still there. That feeling, that joy, that sensation is still there. But what will keep you on the road is no longer the first inspiration or the first motivation. What keeps you on the road is self-trust. What keeps you on the road is the promises that you kept for yourself in the past. That's why a lot of people give up 3 days into the promise that they are kept for, whatever they said they're gonna do, and you start wondering, what is wrong with me? Can I be honest with you? Nothing is wrong with you, but it's just that you're functioning from the wrong model. You're functioning from the wrong blueprint. Okay. Now, as you said, you're gonna read for 3 days. You're gonna read 1 hour every day. Then day one, you did show up. You see here, day one, you showed up. Now day two, and when you said you're gonna read for 1 hour, you also said I'm gonna wake up at 6 o'clock to read for 1 hour. Because when you check, if you wake up at 6 o'clock, it will give you that time to read for 1 hour and also get ready for work. Now, day two, remember when I said about the motivation? Day two, day one, you were at 100%. That's why you were able to wake up and read for 1 hour. Now, guess what? This is someone that has practiced, unfortunately, unconsciously, anchored self-sabotage. So if you have been going through this pattern of self-sabotage, at the same time, people like this, they're not patient through the process because you feel like you've wasted many years and you want to catch up on years. Nobody by their own strength can catch up. Only God will work with you to compress your time. So people like that, they do not understand compound energy or compound effort. They want a transformation and they want it now. So because day one for you, when you read on day one, you wanted to see the transformation right away. And because you haven't, you were already disappointed in you. And you start doubting in you. You start, and as you start doubting, there is shame and all those things. But those are the same thing that are being prepared to pull your energy down. So even though you started at 100%, on day two, you might be at 65%. You're leaking energy. Is this making sense to someone? If this is making sense to you, put one in the chat. I am explaining to you why you are stuck, okay? Before I tell you how to get unstuck, let me explain. I'm helping you see why you're constantly stuck, okay? And how you can get out so that you can understand that you are not the problem. By the way, this happens to everybody. It happens to everybody. I was watching Kobe, the late basketball player, Kobe Bryant, right? Yeah. I was watching his video and he spoke about how you're going to be going to the gym, and sometimes in the gym, your mind will be telling you, oh no, just do 30 runs today and you can add 2 more tomorrow. I'm like, wait, so this happens to him too? But the thing is, you need to know that whatever goal you set for yourself, that's you have signed a contract with yourself. You have signed a contract with yourself. And someone like Kobe didn't just stumble into it. You work your way into it. And I also watched another video about Kobe again that was talking about how there was a time in his life he was going through like successful, in a way, he kept repeating this pattern of losing in his basketball game. And what his performance coach did was this. The performance coach, with his performance coach, they were able to create an alter ego. I'm going to teach you about that, an alter ego. And right after that, a week after that, what happened? Kobe was able to start scoring. And from there, he kept rising and rising and rising. You see that? So what I mean by alter ego, for those who don't know that, is you create a person, and this is where a lot of people get it wrong, right? The definition of it is this: you're creating a person that has all the quality, all the strength that you do not have yet, so that you can live by it. Somebody has a question. Let me see. Does our nervous system depend on our past experience to do well or not to do well? That's an amazing question, Yasmin. Your nervous system is wired by the results that was the result that was created in the past. So it doesn't depend on, well, that's the question has been answered. Yes, it depends on your past, okay, to do well or not to do well. That's a good question, and that's the answer. Okay, your brain is wired, so the subconscious, everything, that's where your action is coming from. Your dominant thoughts is what leads your action in the present. So if your dominant results is what, starting and stopping, that's how the nervous system is wired for. So that's why you need to regulate. Okay, for those people, they are living in survival mode, so you need to find a way to regulate every single time. Send in your question, but that was a very good question, my dear friend. Okay, so now, and I was talking about the alter ego. So basically, the alter ego is what? Creating a person, right, who has all the quality that you desire, all the quality that that is dormant in you. Now you see it as someone else, and from there, you're welcome, my dear friend. From there, now that becomes your model. Today, I'm going to show you something different, but that's the idea that people pull from it. And what is this something different? It's not something, but it's a model for you. It's called what? The image and the likeness of God. Because when you are creating an alter ego, how do I say this? Nothing exists out of nowhere. Okay? Nothing exists out of nowhere. And please do not hear what I'm not saying. People created their alter ego and it worked for them. Kobe created his alter ego and it worked for him. His alter ego was what? Black Mamba, right? And I always thought that Mamba is a snake. But wait, okay? So whatever person you're creating, you need to study that. But what I was saying is this. There is nothing is there out of nowhere. We either pull from the third heaven or wherever. Now, and then some people will be wondering, why am I seeing this misfortune in my life? You don't know the alter ego you created, what you created. I don't want to scare anyone, and I don't even know why I'm talking about this. But hey, let me talk about it. To make it simple for you, you have your own alter ego, which is what? The image and the likeness of God. To play it safe, okay? The image and the likeness of God. And it's not something that you're creating out of nowhere. That's what the word says. I am Christian. I'm a Christian coach. I coach everybody, but I let people know my foundation is what? Is the faith, is Christianity. And when I talk about Christianity, what do I talk about? I'm talking about God. I'm talking about Jesus. I'm talking about the Holy Spirit. So there will be a moment in my coaching session, because I coach people on identity. There is no identity outside of God. Your identity is in God. So your blueprint is in God. Okay? And most of my teaching, or most of my coaching session, is based on Genesis 1. Genesis 1 for a reason. Genesis means what? Our beginning, the beginning of things. So I will lead you through Genesis. It's not Bible study, but your brain has to remind itself where it came from. So Genesis, it says, you are the image and the likeness of God. Once you tell your brain, this is who I am, the brain will not try to bring to you something that never existed. I know this might fly over the head of some people. That's why you need to go back and watch this video on the other platform. And when you go there, there's where we usually go to watch replays, right? You already know. And when you go on that platform, put in Reset with Coach Chefi. Reset with Coach Chefi, and you can watch today's replay. The title is what? How to get unstuck. And in parentheses, I put neuroscience and faith. So that's what I'm teaching you. Before you can get unstuck, you need to know why you are stuck. That's what I explained to you. When you set a goal, it doesn't mean that automatically the goal will be reached. Setting a goal is just a desire. Now, the steps to reaching the goal is what will lead the transformation. Okay? So setting a goal is just a desire. Now I'm explaining again to you why you're stuck. When you set a goal, the nervous system will scan your past record to see if you've ever done something like this, something similar, right? And from there, that's when the nervous system will let you know, okay, because you have seen that you've done this in the past, there's no threat, you can do it. But when the brain is scanning and the brain starts seeing the moment you said, those moments where you did not keep your promise to yourself, those moments where you said, I was going to read for 3 hours, but you only did 1 hour, those moments. So the brain, everything is filed in the brain, whether it's a positive result, a negative one, whatever it is, it's filed in the brain. It's seen as, the brain is seen as what? Your bank. When you deposit $5,000 in your bank account and you want to withdraw 5,001 cents, they will tell you you don't have that much of money in your account. It doesn't matter if it's 1 cent or not. So the brain only let you draw back to from it what you have put in it. So if it's the one that is inconsistent, that's the record that the brain has about you. So that's why even you, when you're talking about yourself, you picture yourself as someone who only starts and never follows through. It's not coming from nowhere. It's coming from the track record that you have about yourself. And I gave you the example of my client who told me, Coach, I'm so afraid to even commit one day because I have tried in the past and I was not able to follow through. So this person didn't want to go through the shame spiral. So most of you right now, you are living in that place of shame and you want to break out. That's the neuroscience example of explanation of why you're stuck. Now, the faith part, there is in the book of Romans says what? Renew your mind, okay? Renew your mind. And neuroscience has proven that as well. Whatever we've learned can be unlearned, can be relearned. So don't think that this is it for me. I don't think anything else can be done. I am done. This is how it's supposed to be. No. Neuroscience has proven it, has proven what God has been saying for many years. Okay? So whatever you've learned today can be unlearned, can be relearned, can be unlearned. Now, I believe most of you, you're asking, how do I break out of this? Because I've tried many times and I'm still stuck. And that's what you're wondering. And you might be telling yourself, is this how my life is going to end? I remember asking the same question once, many times before 2009. But 2009, what's the name? Mundi, thank you. I asked that question to myself many, many times. Why did I ask that question? Because I was also a mom. And I started asking myself, is this the lifestyle that I want to transfer to my child? Because I knew well about generational curse. Okay? And then I started saying, I don't think this is what God created me for. There is more in me. And most of you right now, while you're on this live, you also know there is more in you. But you just don't know how to step into that more, or how to tap into that more and live from that more. So what I'm going to share with you today will help you to start moving forward. Okay? We cannot change the past. Hello? We cannot transform the past. Most of you, you're stuck in the past trying to make things better. But can I be honest? You cannot. The past is the memory. The future is the illusion. The present is where transformation is happening. You are not seeing it, but transformation is happening in the present. Okay? For those who would like to work with me, because we can teach everything on a live, I've opened 5 spots for my new clients. Send me a DM at info@coachchefi.com, info@coachchefi.com. Coach Chefi, the Chefi is CHEFI.com. If you want to work with me in this season because you're tired of repeating the same pattern, you're desiring a transformation, but you only commit 1 or 2 days and you're already tired, and you're living in a pattern of shame, you want to break out, I have opened 5 spots this month, okay, where we work together. Now, this is what you're going to get when you work with me. You're going to step into your identity. You're going to have a structure, okay, a strategy, a regulation system, and you'll be able to execute. You are breaking from someone who used to be inconsistent to Start committing, be consistent, and see the result that you want. Someone who finally can say, I started this goal and I walk to it, and you have a result to prove to yourself. Because right now the nervous system is not trusting you, and it will keep pulling you back until you wire that part of your life that is constantly showing up and not backing out until you see the result. I used to be a chronic starter. And who is a chronic starter? A chronic starter is that person that only can start, is that person that has all the beautiful ideas but never follows through, never is committed on the journey to see the result. That used to be me. So that's why when I come to teach, when I am coaching my clients, I coach with passion, because my life is the example. If I'm here today where I can commit to come on live for 100 days consistently, and then after 100 days I'm still showing up, hey Dorothy, how are you, my dear friend? We are having a session today, Dorothy. I know you sent me an email. I haven't seen it yet, but let me see. Okay, welcome. It's such a pleasure having you here today. Okay, so as we work now, as you work with me, we'll be able, what you're doing is you're building that model. Now, remember I told you you're functioning from the raw model. And what is this model? This is the model that was created by shame. This is the model that was created by self-sabotage. This is the model that was created by all the negative things that you believe about yourself. This is the model that is created from your childhood, maybe. And you're stuck in that place of blaming everybody, not taking responsibility. I used to do the same, by the way. So I can read you. I'm reading you right now while reading my past. Okay, so do not be afraid. So you're stuck in all this, but you're wishing for transformation. Hello. What do we need to do to rebuild self-trust? What a beautiful question. I can feel someone is ready, okay? I'm going to give you some of it, right? But if you're ready to step into that transformation, not just to smell it, but to step into, you know what is happening to you right now? Let me call it up. That's a good question. That's a good question. Right now, what is happening is motivation. Okay? And motivation is built from information. Motivation is built from information. There are two steps or two ways of information. Glad to be here. Looking forward to our session. Good to hear that. Okay, there are two types of information. Information that builds knowledge and information that transforms. Right now, and the information that builds knowledge is the information that is known as the motivation one. Okay, so right now, while you're watching my live or you're watching other people's live, you are hopping on live to live to live, watching videos to videos to videos, and nothing is changing, because the information, you are only binging on information that is considered as what? Knowledge. Okay, information that is considered as knowledge. Information that is considered as knowledge. But this is where you want to be. And that information that is considered as knowledge is the information, is the motivation. So when you're on live like this and you've been called out, what happened is you're gonna say, today things are gonna change. I'm gonna do it in a different way. So I'm explaining it to you. Now the information that transforms is when you put in the work. Okay? Information that transforms So there is motivation and there is transformation. Transformation is when you set a specific time for you to keep showing up in a small way, okay? Small way, daily. So the key word here is what? Consistent. It's not to start in a big way. So your question is this, my dear friend. Your question is this. The first one is, oh, thank you for the heart on the other platform. Oh, you know what? I think this is my first time receiving a heart on YouTube. Thank you, my dear friend. Okay, so look, the information that transforms comes after the information that motivates, or the knowledge information. So the first thing that you're receiving here is this. Right now on this live, you're only receiving the information that builds knowledge. Okay, so that's what will lead you to asking, then what can I do? It's just a desire. It has not sink in yet. And I'm calling this out for a reason, because after this, if you do not commit, guess what? The same thing will happen again. And as you keep doing this, asking the question without commitment, you will repeat your year 2026 in 2029. Most of you right now, this is not the first time that you desire transformation. You have desired it, but as soon as you desire it, it's the same time that that feeling was lost because you did not lock in. So I need people that will lock in, because if you're not locking in, any information is just at the head level without transformation. It's just at the head level without transformation. But in this age where you are, you no longer need the head knowledge, but you need a transformation. Okay, so a fast tip I'm gonna give you right now, and these are the things that these are some of the things that I lead my client through. The first thing and the fastest thing that you want to do right now is this. When this information is coming, you need to regulate yourself. Do not receive it from the head level. Receive it with the heart level. This type might be very hard for some people to understand. That's why I said, subscribe. You know where you subscribe at? When you subscribe there, look for Reset with Coach Chefi. Reset with Coach Chefi. Okay? Do you know how? This one will be difficult for some people to understand, but follow me. When an information is coming and you desire a transformation, you see yourself receiving that information by doing what? Where are you from? This is what you do. You see that information. What do I mean by that? If you are able to catch this, your process will be quickened. Okay? Let me give you an example. When I say transformation, your definition of transformation will be different from mine. But every word that I speak, give it an image. What are we doing here? I'm leading you to intentionally activate the reticular activating system. What is the reticular activating system? Is that part of the brain that helps you to filter all distraction so that you can be on the course. So when I teach my clients, I remember leading one of my clients, a business owner who was going through a specific identity challenge. And she said, Coach, this is what I'm going through. I want to break out of this. And when we worked together, not only she was able to anchor her identity into her blueprint, because that's what I teach, your identity blueprint, but she also started seeing the results in her daily life, in her business, in her relationship. Okay? It's called what? Being, seeing, and doing. Be, see, do. Be, see, do. Be, see, do. For those who are just joining and you're wondering what are we talking about today, I am coaching you into how to stop self-sabotage at the nervous system level. Okay? The title that I put today is How to Get Unstuck. And I said on the other platform, I said how to get unstuck, neuroscience and faith. Okay? That's why I told you my teaching, my coaching is based on the image and the likeness of God. Genesis, because that's the source of everything that we do. That's the source of who we are. And that's what your blueprint is. Before the lie, before the wrong blueprint that was taught to you, right? The wrong blueprint came from where? Whenever you feel like you're lazy. Whenever you start, you stop. The rejection, the abandonment, the people pleasing. Thank you for the person that is liking. The people pleasing and all that. That's the wrong blueprint. That's the model that your nervous system has. So the nervous system has that about you. So anytime you said you're going to show up, that's the model that your nervous system is duplicating you from. Okay? Now, let me show you how to activate the reticular activating system. Oh, actually, before I show you, okay, let me give you an example of the reticular activating system. Have you ever thought about a specific car, okay? And then the next thing you know, you start seeing the same exact cars on the street. Has that ever happened to you? Has that ever happened to you? Okay, let's say for instance you thought about a red Honda, right? And then the next thing you know, when you start going on the street, you start driving or you're walking or you're on the bus or you're riding your bike, you will start noticing the exact red car that you just thought about. Well, it's not magic, okay? It's nothing supernatural. So who I am and who I want to be is different. Is that a question? Who I am? Yes. Jasmine, you have questions that I love. But let me help the other person, and then I'll respond to this one. So Jasmine wants to know, is the person, is it a revelation for you or is it a question? Let me know. Is it a revelation, Jasmine, or is it a question? Okay. Now, so that is not magic when you think of something and then you start seeing, The goal of the reticular activating system is to clear out every distraction so that you can stay focused mentally, emotionally, and reach that goal. God is so intentional. That's what revelation. But I'll clear that part of it so that you get it better, okay? God is so intentional that he packed everything, the wisdom that we need in our body part. Our eyes has the wisdom of God, okay? Our brain has the wisdom of God. Our nervous system has the wisdom of God. Everything that we need so that we stay focused on this journey of called life has been packed in us, okay? So that's the goal of the reticular activating system, and that's the same technique that the best of the best of the best athletes use. Before they step on the court to play the game, they have already activated the reticular activating system. What do? They see themselves winning the game. They see themselves not quitting until they see the result that they want. They see themselves being consistent even when they don't feel like it. People like Muhammad Ali, Kobe Bryant, the best of the best of the best of them, even the best artists, they see themselves before they physically step into it. Okay, so that part of them, their emotion, their mind went ahead of them. Now, once the mind, the emotion goes ahead of you, the body will only catch up to it. Isn't God amazing? This is why I said science is not there to prove God wrong. It's just as human beings, we like pairing or starting fights between two people. We love that. But I don't believe the goal of science is to make us believe that God is not there. For anyone who has been, getting closer or desiring to know more about God, you then understand that actually science is only proving the sovereignty of God. Okay? So that's the science part. To my dear friend who asked, how can you build self-trust? The first thing that you need to do is this: set a small goal, a ridiculously small, tiny goal. Because guess what? You are walking your way back into trust. If someone breaks your trust, what do they have to do? They cannot just bug into it right away. No, they have to walk themselves back into trust. The same for you. Okay? So if you want to work on your self-trust, the first thing that you need to do is to set a tiny, small, ridiculously non-existent goal. Now, for example, it could be, I'm going to call someone. That's how small it could be. Or I'll journal. That's how small it could be. Or I'll go for a walk. That's how small it could be. Or I'll brush my teeth. Can you believe some people don't? That's how small it could be. Now, you don't stop there. Are you still here, my dear friend? Is this person still here? Please, if you're still here, put 1 in the chat. Or if you're still here, tap on the screen. If you're still here, put 1 in the chat and tap on the screen. And tap on the screen. How are we doing here? Thank you. Good job, everybody. Are you still here? Okay, is that a tap? Okay. Yasmin, is you're the one that asked that question about how to walk yourself back into it? Okay, so the way you walk back into it is this: set a small, tiny goal, a very tiny, small goal. No, okay. You just want me to continue? That's good. Now, how many minutes do I have? I have 6 minutes. Today I have to be on time. Okay, so let me wrap this up and answer to Jasmine. So that's the first thing that you want to do. Set a small, tiny goal. So who I am and who I want. Yeah, no, I'm going to respond to that. So you set a small goal. When you reach that goal, this is what you want to do. You go in front of the mirror to celebrate that moment. Most people are drawn in the past to visit the moment that they did not show up fully. But what you want to do is you go back in the past intentionally to create that moment of gratitude. Okay, so you said, wow. Then you call yourself the first name. You look in front of the mirror, or you look at yourself in the mirror and say, wow. You call yourself by your first name. John, I am so proud of you. You're gonna tell me that you said you're gonna show up and you did show up. I'm so proud of you. I'm running through this for a reason. If you want us to work together, send me a DM at info@coachchefi.com and we'll be able to work together. I have 5 spots for this month and we can work together. Or when you send me a DM, I'll also send you my calendar, okay, to have a free one-on-one coaching session with me to see if you are even eligible to work with me. I don't work with everybody or just anyone. There are a set of people that I work with. Now, let me answer the question of Jasmine. Yes, the person that you are is different from the person that you want to be. Is that the question? So who I am and who I want to be is different. Yes. Who you are and who you want to be is different. Who you are right now is different from who you want to be. But this is where the mind get it twisted. Okay. I'm gonna use your title for my session tomorrow. That's a good one. Who you are and who you want to be is different. I don't want to rush this. I only have 3 minutes. I'm leading prayer in 3 minutes, but I don't want to rush this. Jasmine, let's do this. Who I am is a program of my caregiver now. Yes. But you know where you're speaking from? You're speaking from what you're seeing right now. Who you are. I always say this. When it comes to identity, there is the one that people believe you are. There is the one that people think you are. There is the one you believe you are. There is the one people you think you are. And there is the one you are. So right now, you're speaking from the one you think and you believe you are. The 5th one that most people don't talk about, which is the real I am, is the one that I tell people about. So when you're saying who I am is different from who I want to be, but you're speaking from this plane. Who I am, you have not seen that yet because you're speaking from here. I'm gonna stop. Yasmin, if you want to get deeper into this, not just a head knowledge, but transformation place, right? Send me a DM and I'll send you my calendar to book the free one-on-one coaching with me, and then we step there. I'm so sorry, I have to leave. I'm leading prayer within the 2 minutes, so I want to be on time there, okay? Thank you. I don't have the time to call everybody. Dorothy, thank you for being here. Abraham, thank you for being here. There is a writing in Chinese. I cannot call your name, but thank you. Tiana, thank you. Sylvia, thank you. Thank you for everyone who joined. And if you want us to work, send me a DM, info@Coach Chefi, and then we will do it. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Okay, YouTube, thank you so much for being on. Please don't forget to subscribe to the live, to my channel, so that next time when I'm on live, you will know and receive the notification and all that. Have a wonderful day.